Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. America has serious problems right now. Serious problems. And they don't want to admit these problems. Poor people of every race and the LGBT community and the middle class who are pushed toward the poor more and more, who are trampled by the rich, whether they admit it or not, are on the same side. They're just not behaving like it. And they're not organizing. Everybody who's not a complete lunatic, who's not a rich, crazy lunatic, needs to go to the left wing. They don't need to join the Democratic Party per se, but they need to go to the left wing, and we need to form a professional Democratic committee, a central committee that has more power than any politician or any Democratic camp right now. And they need to form effectively, and they need to present the party line point by point. The left needs to get rid of the child sex changes, the trannies in sports, the gender-neutral bathrooms, the gay agenda. They need to get rid of everything that doesn't make sense. They need to win over as many people as possible. They also need to get rid of DEI, critical race theory, Black Lives Matter, and affirmative action. Bear with me now. We need something better that's pinpointed to help people of color. My War on Poverty plan will help every race. The left needs to choose principle, and they need to risk things to achieve their goals. Yes, if we do what's right, the government's going to get mad. The governing class is going to get mad. I've been doing what's right my whole life. But we can do this together and easily. I have so many plans in place. There's so many people out there who have experience in so many fields. We can do this. We can easily win. We need to separate ourselves from all the foolishness. All protests should come with off-duty police officers, if you can, private security, and people who wear certain outfits that reveal that they're security and they're the front line of the protest. And whenever somebody does something they're not supposed to do, throw a rock at a cop or something, the crowd needs to help the police there identify them, the police that we hire, and to arrest them and remove them. Provocateurs have caused a lot of problems. It's time for the left to organize. It's time for the left to be smart. I have several plans that are perfect for the future. We need to consider the threats the technology poses. We need to consider the fact that they know how to hack brains remotely, and that they are doing so. We need to secure Medicare, Medicaid, Medi-Cal, and Social Security. We need a massive farming program. We need a massive housing program. We need to end homelessness. The top half of this country has something like $162 trillion or so in assets, where the bottom half has only $2 trillion. That is outrageous. On this point, we could easily win. They have no viable counter-argument for the fact that there needs to be a wealth distribution. It's just how much? 10% over 50 years? 15%? One could justify like 45% till everyone has about the same money, but that is not the optimum way to proceed, because nobody's going to go for that, especially with the stigma on communism. Well, we can certainly push for a 10% redistribution plan over 50 years. We also should be spending $180 billion, at least for the first 5 years or so, out in foreign aid to other countries for farming programs so 9 million people don't starve to death every year. We can change this country masterfully. The rich will still be rich. We can feed the hungry in the world. We can house everybody. We can secure health care and Social Security. We can make a much more fair planet for the future. This is something I'm doing even though I do not plan to have children. I'm still doing this out of the goodness of my heart. You need to stand firm and lead your families with a strong example of universal pinpointed moral precision. They just provoked me earlier to make a very harsh video about the military. and I'm not going to release it. Okay? So sometimes I hold things in. Quite often I'm very critical. I'm very mad at the government, at the population for not organizing for what's right. I'm here in California. They're trying to gentrify me out of the whole state. We need to organize and we need to solve these problems. We need to work with the government in a way that's fair and just and right to secure a logical legal immigration process and various regions for these people, for the illegals that are here, what have you. We need to look at the situation carefully and consider what social mobility means. The ability to start somewhere and work your way up. We need to look at what the existing glass ceilings are and analyze them carefully and decide together what is fair, what we can live with as Americans and as people who are trying to join us. If people care about you and your country so much that they want to come here with their families and live with you in spite of all the shortcomings here, all the corruption, all the evil, all the violence, all the drugs, why would you turn them away? We started off long ago as one human race in Africa. People started going here and there. Are we now just divided? Or are we still the human race? Are we animals? Do we only think in terms of territory and flesh? Or are we human beings with existential intelligence, naturalist intelligence, the ability to grow? Don't doubt your ability to be smart and disciplined and to make smart decisions. Believe in yourselves. Believe in doing the right thing. I know there's some background noise right now, so I'm going to have to cut this short. I urge you all to consider my 7-point war on poverty plan, my global farming plan, and my analysis of the healthcare sector plan. We need a massive analysis of hospitals and pharmaceutical companies and laboratories in every aspect, ambulances, everything. We need to get to the bottom of this. How much should healthcare cost? How much are we paying? How can we cut back on substance abuse and substance use and abuse? I'm gonna end it there. They're doing things to interfere with my speeches, and don't let that discourage you. If we get together, we can secure a future together. If they harass us, we can sue them together with tons of witnesses. We can take them on peacefully. We can win. We need to win on the left because the left stands for change. We don't have to toe the existing party line. We need to make a morally precise liberal party line to be open-minded enough to make the adjustments that are needed to create a morally precise change. Don't be the type of change you want to see when you're not thinking straight. Think straight and be morally precise change. Thank you.